Hmm. I have a few words. Yeah. I suppose I can sum them up in one sentence. Gratitude for value in a playful way. Well, I got immense gratitude for Jesse and what he's created here last night, because of the value he gives us all, and he's allowed us to experience from one another. And then I got the word playful 5 minutes ago. So that's where I get to merge them all together.
Sweet.
I love that.
Okay. Are we all called in?
Yes.
We all invited in?
We've all been hooked.
Yeah. Are we all in? Lynn?
Yes. That's so true.
All in, Lynn.
Yeah, man.
All in. Let's go.
Let's roll.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
There's you can hear and feel the energy of play here this morning for your morning.
Yeah.
My lunchtime.
Well, I would like to say something to Learn, because, you know, I saw I was being very inspired by your voice messages and your videos on Facebook. And absolute. And just seeing you personally, you know, on video, I can relate, because I feel like I know you now, you know, in a way that I can listen and hear and then take the action, because it's so knowledgeable and inspiring, motivating, and truth. And so I want to say I'm grateful for that. So thank you, Len.
Thank you, Nikki. Thank you for the acknowledgement. And I'm pleased to hear that my intention to inspire.
Yeah.
There's my gratitude,
For
value.
For value.
In a playful way.
Yeah.
So those videos on Facebook, are those a new thing for you, Lynn?
No, not really. They're probably the past year when I signed up, when I was helping somebody, when I hired somebody to help me with my social media. And I remember at the time they said, nice to see your own growth. That's not what they said, but that's my conclusion of it. But they had advised me to do these videos, or even to do videos that would be like 10-15 minutes long. And I remember at the time going, what, 10-15 minutes long? Because I've done hour videos and they just fly by, right? And at the time I was like, wow, like how the F and hell am I going to stay talking for 10-15 minutes?
Yes. Oh my God, yes.
Yeah. And then I couldn't shut myself up as the time went on. And now I don't really, it doesn't bother me. I just go on and have a little spiel. And then
but did you
say
it
has a little bit of structure?
Yeah, but did you say that was a year ago that you did those videos that you post? Is it a year ago?
I started, it's probably not even a year ago, to be fair.
And isn't that amazing that it relates today?
Yeah, well, I don't know if it's a year to the date, but it's probably not even a year ago. It wouldn't be a year ago, to be fair. But that's where I got the inspiration to do them.
but it relates today even. So what you shared a year ago, that it actually, to me, it relates for me today, you know?
Oh,
That's whatever
course.
you shared a year ago, it could have been a year ago, but to me, it relates to me today. And I think
Get
that's
you.
quite profound and so true. And very powerful.
Mm. Yeah. There's been a lot of lessons in them, to be fair. I got screwed over for a couple of grand.
Yeah, you're going
it was
to.
an
You're going
expensive
to.
lesson. Yeah, totally.
But isn't that true? Isn't that true if you don't mind me saying? I'm sorry to interrupt you, Lynn. Do you want to say something?
No, work away.
No, I just wanted to say that's so true, because when you are speaking your truth in courage and being fearless, not everybody's going to clap for you. Not everyone's going to support you, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
But then you just continue doing you, because that's your message. That's the story. And your message is the key.
Well, a reason why they might
totally.
not
And
be,
that's
I was going to say the reason why they might not be encouraging is because that's a magic there, like, because you're doing what they want to do, and it's kind of reminding them of them not doing it. So like that's why it's magical if we can be, do you know what I mean, as happy for someone else's success as our own.
Yeah, absolute.
And that's a big thing.
Yeah.
Like with other things, it's like, because it's such a comparative world, with comparing this and that, it's like, oh, they've got that, that's what I want. And because they're not happy for it, also the universe is thinking, well, obviously they don't want that then. And so it's a double block. But yeah, but wow, no, big up, Lynn. That's it. And yeah, you say like you're down a couple of grand, but look, you're making these videos, you're making these regular content now, and like, so who knows? It's all swings and roundabouts. But like you're out there and you're voicing it and you're putting your message in videos. So I think that's worth its weight in gold. If that got you going doing that.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. I totally agree. And as Nikki said, to be able to practice speaking my truth and to realize and be comfortable with it, you won't be received, which is a big society thing, and an expectation to be received by everybody in a certain light and in a certain way. And that has been a massive, like, I'm at the place where, okay, if you're a no, well, then I'm moving on to the next yes.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Honoring myself, right?
Oh yeah.
Honoring my truth. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The right people are gonna come.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Totally, Joe.
Honoring
but you have
your
to learn
growth.
that lesson first.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So exciting. Yeah.
Good. I'm glad I asked the question. Because now I get that they're more frequent, they're more authentic, they're more deep, they're more real.
I like the fact that, you know, when you ask questions, to know that you don't need to have the answer, because the person that needs to respond has the answer. So for you that's when I really know now, for practicing as I am in practice, and that's the joy of being here, because I'm practicing, and that means it's progress. So when you ask questions, that you can know that you can pause and allow the other person to speak, because they have the answer. And that's the communication of listening. And that's when you learn, and that's when you can inspire and you can take the obvious action. And I think this is like, yeah.
That's it. Practice makes progress. Practice makes progress.
Because it doesn't matter when you get to the goal, because it's going to be another goal and another goal. The secret and the key here is progress.
and the feeling.
And as Jesse says, practice makes progress. And that's when I love the fact that it gives me my centered in my heart now, that I asked, is it my true nature and purpose? Yes, it is. Because it is our true nature and purpose to be in our heart with knowing that what we are becoming, we've always been. It is just allowing us to give that permission. And to me, that gives a lot of confidence, not arrogant confidence, but confidence in what you're choosing. Because when you see it and you choose it, you don't have to believe it. So when you see it and you choose it, you don't have to believe it.
I don't know. I think belief's a massive factor.
No,
I think in the
it's not.
choice, I think in the choice though, Nikki, somewhere there is belief, there is faith. It's just the ego mind then comes in and tells you.
Yeah, but you can believe something, but you still don't see it. When you see it, in like when you really truly see it, like in your mind's eye, I mean, I'm a believer. I mean, I'm a very much of my strong in my faith. I don't question that. I don't deny that, because this is what I've always, what has brought me to where I am now. But what I'm talking about, true nature and purpose of coming into this active experience of understanding, I always thought, is this my new identity? This is not my new identity. I've always been this. I've always been this. And it was just the obstacles that I had to face going into this world, as we do go into a world of getting wounded and, betrayed and abused or heartbroken and facing poverty and losing everything. And then it's rising above and saying, am I going to be better or better? And that is when you really get to know that you are spirit. So when you get to see it in your mind's eye to say, that's what I'm choosing now, and that's what I'm going for, the belief just follows through. It's a belief then you believing because you're doing it. Because a lot of times you can believe something, you're not doing anything about it. You know, because you had you had a belief of a limited belief, because it was told there were certain things that you were shaped, and that when that shape comes with a belief, that you can go through your whole life unconsciously living in a program of a belief system that's not even yours to believe in. So this is where you get the shift. This is the shift that we're all making in really coming into making true choices from our heart. That is our spirit, super conscious. And that begins us to see it. And then it follows through. Because everything is what you believe, right? We believe, if I believe that I was told 10, 15 years ago that A, B, and C of something that was a negative vision, and I could have believed that. And I did. And then you realize, I can, oranges are not bad to eat. I can eat a whole bag of oranges now. You follow? You can have a belief of thinking, oh no, oranges are this and they're that and they're that. But then later on, you eat an orange, you go, oh no, my God, what have I been missing? It's so sweet, it's so delicious. So it's like a belief. And those beliefs set us apart of who and what we're choosing. And that's why you don't have to believe in something. You just have to see it.
Well,
I think there is a distinction between the belief and the faith, though. Sorry, that's what was standing out for me, Nikki.
So clarify that, Lynn. I would like to know. I'd like to know your answer on that.
So you speak about a belief like almost like repetitive concept, ideas, and thoughts that became concrete within us through the repetition, and from that perspective of belief. But if the belief of faith is like a knowing, it's beyond that part of us that's physical and intellectual. It's that part of us that is to put word onto it minimizes it, to undervalues it, devalues it. That it's like a feeling and not a concept or an idea. That's my distinction between belief and faith.
Believe in fate.
And
huh?
we
Believe
all
in fate.
no, that's my distinction between belief and a belief coming from something that has been structured and created, and then faith coming from something that is always there within us, driving us and seeking us and searching and guiding us in that subtle way. That energy of our soul, right? That's come here with us to support us in our creations and our purpose. So that's the difference that I feel between a belief and a faith. Yeah. So when we make a choice, we may not believe in it, but we can have the belief of faith in it. We can have
absolute.
Absolute. Which how we know is ours, which how we know that it's our design, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Can I add to this conversation now that we're talking about beliefs, please?
Yes, Mona. Hi, Mona.
Hi, Mona.
Hey, Mona.
You're invited. You're invited, Mona.
Thank you. I know that this is being recorded, and I don't mean anything derogatory when I say this. I grew up with a specific belief system about who's in control, who's not in control, and things like that. And that we have choice, but it was sort of limited. So the video that was put in the chat the other day about pre-birth experiences and being able to choose really kind of challenged it. And because I had heard of somebody having this experience, it makes me because I kind of thought Chris was full of crap. Okay. I mean, he's a good salesperson, and he's given us really a lot of good information. But that idea that you come here and you choose and you can pick your parents really challenged my belief system, because you always hear this statement, you can't pick your parents, but you can pick other things. And that's not true. So like it just really challenged my belief system. And now that I've heard this YouTube video where somebody's actually had this experience, now I have to wrap my head around something else a little differently. And I have to have faith that I'm hearing the truth. I may not feel it right away. I may not be able to wrap my head around it right away. But when you hear people having these experiences and you're not just listening to somebody sell a program because that's their belief system, then it really leaves you an opportunity to really reconsider what you have been programmed to think all your life about what faith is and what belief is and the right action to take and things like that. And I think that all along, people have shared stories in a really inept manner. And I don't know why. And I don't know if it's because we've not been able to come to a place where we can handle the truth until now. But I'm glad it's here. And I have to say that my word for the day has to be not just hope. Hope to some people is a wish. When I talk about hope, I talk about an alpeis hope. It's a Greek word for Bible hope. And when I talk about it that way, I talk about it like hanging in the tension. So for me, faith and tension are the same thing. And if I have that kind of hope, I can see things coming to me. I can feel things coming to me. And I have a confidence and a reassurance that those things will show up as long as I stay where I need to be in my lane. I don't know how that lands with anybody else, but yeah, this really kind of challenged me. And I'm glad for the challenge because it helps me understand things in a much larger picture.
That was beautifully said, Mona. That was beautifully said, because faith is a substance not seen, but an evidence hoped for. And it's beautiful that you use hope, because it's not just the wish, it's the trust. It's the trust. And what I hear is trust. Trust the process, trust in knowing where you are, what you're doing, in all your intentions. That doesn't matter if you do know now, like Lynn, she took a video a year ago and she just trusts the process of doing what she was like wanting to do. And a year later, I get to listen to it and it resonates to me. So it's the trust. It's trusting you. And that was beautifully said. I resonated, I understand, and you made it complete. So thank you for that. That's beautifully said.
Thank you. Sometimes I say things and I don't know if I'm saying the right thing all the time.
No, that felt like it was direct from your heart. Thank you so much.
Oh, and thank you for putting that video in there because, like I said, it really expanded my thinking. And I'm able to match up certain things with certain belief systems that I grew up with that were hidden in all these stories. And now the truth is coming out on a whole level of scientific stuff that people 110, 15 years ago wouldn't believe.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's also, if you don't mind, not the mind, it's up to you what you want to receive. But when I said, if you don't mind me saying so, it's that renewing of the mind. That's what it is. It's the renewing of the mind, you know, the renewing of the mind. And knowing, if I could explain, that the brain is neuroplasticity. When I found that out a couple of years ago, I was celebrating because I thought I had the brain I was born with. Because I was told certain things that I was not going to be teachable. Yeah, I wasn't going to be able to read. I wasn't be able to write. Yeah. And so when I actually found that out, it made me realize, oh my God, what was I believing? Yeah. And that's the renewing of your mind. That's when you can say, I'm not born with the brain I was born with. I don't need to believe the belief system because basically in life in general, we all want to live in a little box. The government wants to put you in a box and tell you rules, and in school want to tell you rules, and it's all rules and rules and rules because, if you step out, oh no, you're going to get punished. There was rules, always rules. And so I am now allowing to also go within and say, you know what, I'm going to break these rules, man. And I'm going to discover for myself who God is. I'm going to discover who I am.
Nikki, I
Yes.
have seen you really flourish. And I have seen
Thank
you
you.
face a challenge that you've had all your life. And a couple years ago, when we first talked about a specific challenge,
you can tell the challenge. You can tell the challenge. I don't mind.
Okay. Well, when
I don't have secrets.
It was the dyslexia stuff.
Yeah, of course.
And
yeah, absolutely.
I have noticed since you've been in this program, you put your sentences in way better together. You spell better. It's more organized, and that's an amazing shift. And don't ever try to get rid of that because it's a sign of genius.
Thank you, Lynn. I call you Lynn, but it's Mona. Mona Lynn.
That's okay.
Yeah, it's beautiful because with Lynn and I call her Lynn because Mona, I understand Mona Lynn. Okay. But Lynn is also one of my cousins. So I relate to certain names to certain people that I remember names. That's how I remember names. So yeah, Mona, Lynn. Yeah, Mona. And I really appreciate that because when I did share that with Mona, it was a very much of a shame still. Like, could I voice that out? Like, what would people think? And that was basically my mindset. What would they think, you know? Because I was so shamed by that, you know, and I actually thought there was something wrong with me. So, and, you go through life and it's not an easy thing. And then you realize, oh my God, it's not that much of a big deal, right? To be dyslexic, it's okay. But I also allowed myself to go into that understanding that I don't label myself as that. I'm not in denial. I understand. I'm very aware, but I also know that I don't label myself as that anymore because I have the tools to educate. I have the tools to practice, and yeah. So you get better as you practice, as you put yourself out and practice it. Because I don't know, for what it's worth. This is what it is, and once I accepted that, because that was holding me back from really talking, from going into the chat box to engaging. I always felt like, what have I got to say here? What have I got to really write to anybody that they will understand what I'm writing? And so that was just something that I just continued allowing myself to say, hey, you got to you have to confront this. Yeah. You got to come to your truth and accept that. And when I really accepted that, and I said, that's what it is, and that's it. And when I did that, a whole new opportunity came because it was me. It was in my head. It wasn't so much what others, it was more what I was thinking. Yeah. And then I gathered all my parts together and I said, I'm not going to label it saying that's what I am, because I'm not just that. I've got genius. I got highly intelligent. There's nothing I can't do if I put my mind to. And it's proven me over and over and over in my life in general, and people, through the background that I had, when I say background, childhood and how I was raised, they said, oh, you'll never be a good mother. You'll never be a good mother. And I mean, come on now, And so I could have been very fearful and say, oh, yeah, but now I chose to be, and to know that that is not who I am because of my childhood or what I've experienced. I get to be who I choose to be, and that's when you really break the patterns. That's when you see you breaking patterns, constantly breaking patterns and going within and saying, wow. And that I feel very happy about. So thank you.
Taking the action, Nikki, go you.
What's that?
Taking the action, go you.
Yeah. 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 Taking the action and go you. Yeah. 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 And I think what's lovely is I got no emotional charge of this, because I would have been choked up now. I would have been a basket case. I would have maybe be crying at the moment, like rolling my eyes. Ooh. But I have no emotional charge anymore of this, And I think this is my truth, And I always say the masters, the ones that say, if I can do it, you can do it. It's what you think. You are what you think. And so I think things that I want to think, not what I get told to think. And I love that, because that makes me realize that I always had potential. I was different. I was always different, but I have potential. And the difference makes me now, to myself, celebrate my uniqueness. And when I come around other people that can bring out that, brings me a lot of joy to be breathing and living in this now moment, because it's the now that I'm living for.
Nikki, you reminded me of something there. The only thing that's the same as us is that the same in us is that we are different.
Yes.
Uniquely the same.
Wow, yeah.
Uniquely different. Uniquely different. Either way. I just want to do, Pascal just wants to acknowledge that. I loved that. I think, let me see, I got to go back. Nikki said it. I think what I want to think. Wow. It's powerful. Thanks, Pascal.
Yeah, I just want to say, like, this morning, my word was inspiration, and I didn't really know why. I was just like, I'm gonna just allow myself to get inspired by others, or allow myself to be inspired by myself. And I just want to say, Nikki, you really inspired me this morning. I had no idea of your challenges and stuff, and it doesn't show. It really doesn't show. So yeah, I want to congratulate for where you've been and where you are right now, because to me, like, you know, like, I wouldn't know if you wouldn't say. So it shows that you made a big progress. So thank you for sharing.
Thank you, Pascal. That's so nice. That's really nice. Thank you.
Yo, guys, can I just share these pictures we drew, me and my daughter? Control your thoughts, control your whole life. And you become what you think about most of the time. You get what you think about most of the time. You're choosing what you want to think. You're controlling your thoughts, you're controlling your whole life.
Wow. Double wow.
And that's right in front of me now. I'm sat at the table, that's what I've got right in front of me. I love you guys.
Yeah, keep listening to your kids.
Yeah, can you say it one more time?
Yeah, so we've got control your thoughts, control your whole life, and then we've got you become what you think about most of the time, or you get what you think about most of the time. And that's the hourglass there, but we don't know how much sand there is. So every moment is priceless. Woo!
Yeah, that's beautiful. Thank you.
My pleasure. Wow, feeling the same, Pascal, man. Feeling inspired, feeling electric, feeling the vibe in this mastermind today. Wow, wow, wow. Feeling the buzz in this hive.
What were our breakthroughs? Were there any? I think, of course there are. It's like, which ones do we intend? What do we wrap up this hour with?
Gratitude.
Yeah, I got that one too. Gratitude.
My breakthrough today was an expansion of the truth.
Wow.
Thanks, Mona. Referring to all of it is like when Lynn, like when you go do your videos, Nikki's doing her, we're all doing our thing, right? And we watch this video of this guy, right? And it's like what I practice in that is their truth. Who am I to judge them for what they're saying? And when I sit in that, it's like, wow, I can be curious about their experience, their choice, their view, their uniqueness of this world. And that has me curious.
And that's a complete.
Not judging,
Curious. Wow, look at that. You can just take a whole nother depth of appreciation and whole enhanced view on things.
Yeah, I got a taste of a number of people's experiences today, and I'm full of gratitude for that.
I can hear the deliciousness in that.
Yeah,
I'm full of gratitude,
I'm licking
too.
my lips. Thank you.
I'm full of gratitude as well. I know that when I started this program, I knew what that recode meant to me. And it seems like there's two reactions. People are like, what is that? Or they know what it means. And I'm extremely grateful for answered prayer because I actually prayed this program in. I'm grateful for the people that I've met, the community that I am a part of. I'm grateful for the mind and heart expansion of what I've been experiencing. And when you get to a certain place, you know that there's just no going back. Sometimes you don't know how to go forward, but you know that you're in this plateau and you know that you can't go back because, yes, you just know you don't want to be there. So I'm really grateful for all of that. And I've actually regained my confidence.
Ooh, that's sweet, Mona. That's very sweet.
Yes, I agree. I agree with all of what you've said. Definitely. For me, yeah, it's wordless. Really, that's the hard thing. It's words can't really put into give justice to the shifts that's going on in deep at the core, deep at the depths. Of it's just like deep intangible stuff, deep shifts, weights lifting, taking off, and yeah, peace, the pricelessness of just peace, and a deeper knowing, and a deeper faith in myself and my path, and yeah, a deep excitement. So wow. Priceless piece, yeah, that's it. So that's my words, try to do it, but yeah, it's way beyond words. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
I'd like to add something about what Jesse said about not judging people, but the piece I want to add is like not judging them, but like also accepting them to their present. So when we're judging maybe like because of their past. And what if it's done to us, or like what we've done to ourselves as well? We're judging ourselves in the past and not in the present. So it's really like accepting people in the present. So where they've been before, it's irrelevant, you know? So like, let's accept people in the present. So.
That's just reminded me of what Craig said. I put that post up in the group about the 3Gs, and I actually did that with AI, and I asked it to be like Martin Luther King inspired. And I didn't even realize until Craig told me, but that was actually Martin Luther King Day that I did that. But then he said, I think that speech needs updating. So it's rather than a kid being judged by the color of its skin, updating it to the point of it's like where judgment no longer even exists. I have a dream where no child is judged whatsoever. Just a curiosity in the air. And Nikki said intelligent, and now anytime I hear intelligent, I just hear intelligental. Because intelligence without a heart is just useless, what that woman said. Intelligental. And she's talking about how new words, how these new experiences and new shifts that are going on, new words are emerging to be able to describe it. The new words are coming, and that's why we ain't got the words right now, but wow.
Yesterday, I called them super conscious words. The new vocabulary.
Super conscious dictionary. Let's work on that.
There we go.
And I like that is the goal of life. Right? The goal of life is to go for something, you know, to bring a creation that comes from nothing into something, and then we bring it into words so that we can see it, experience it, and live it. And it is that bringing it into existence that is the experience. It's always created twice. One with the intention, and then, like Mona said, one holding in the tension of that so it can be completed.
But I think before intention comes desire, and ideally burning desire. The more of a desire is, the stronger the intention would be.
You bet. Or a feeling, or something's off, a wobble, right? And it's like, then the goal becomes, what is that into words? Into your words.
Guys, I love you. I'm going swimming now. It's been beautiful being with you. Thank you, Jess. Thank you all. I love you infinity. Speak to you soon. Mwah. Peace, guys.
Have a great day, Joe.
Bye, Joe. Thank you.
Peace,
Guys,
Joe.
I'm dropping as well. Thanks so much for this space.
Oh, it was epic. Big love.
Big love,
Bye,
Lynn.
Lynn.
You two have a really nice day.
Yeah, inner peace doesn't come from getting what we want, but remembering who we are. Yeah. Hmm. So good. Space to work something as we're coming to the top of the hour. Space to work something the next section, or coming to a complete.
I would like to add one thing before we come to completion, please. I got an opportunity to where I'm going to start pairing with a company. I started all the paperwork yesterday, and I also got to do the timeline exercise with the person that is the owner of the company. She enjoyed the experience, and I think by my working with her, she's going to pick up skill sets by accident, because we have some things in common in the way we do our work. But I think just by accident, she will pick up some of the skill set that I share with her with the processes that I share. And I don't have a problem with that, because I'm not in competition with her at all. So I'm really excited to be in this venture. And this was something that I had been looking for when I moved to where I moved to. That was the intention, to find people that were like-minded. It's taken me 2 years to stay in that vision.
Thank you, Mona. It's like, I know right there it wasn't smooth, right? 2 years and can be just always smooth, but looking back at it, we can be like, now I can see what I had to learn.
Yes, Jesse. Yes, Mona. And it's in that experiencing that you get to experience it, because when you've experienced it, no one can take it from you.
That's right. And when we haven't had the experiences, when we judge others of theirs.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, yes. Mm-hmm. Wow.
I will say this, the one thing that I have noticed, and it's not just me, it takes, but throughout my life, I've noticed that when a change is going to happen, it takes 2 years to fully integrate it before it happens. And it seems like in my life, every 2 years, there's a significant shift upwards.
Mm.
It's not that every 7, it's every 2 years. And I've talked to other people about this, and when they've looked in their patterns, they've noticed the same thing. that about every couple of years, there's a huge shift in what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Because 2 years ago, none of us were where we are today.
Absolute.
And in 2 years, we won't be in the same place as we are today.
Absolute. Yes. That's the beauty of evolving and discovering and having to go through the process of being a human in this body, being an actual human in this body. What's come to me, and really I can now relate, when you say you are superconscious is who you are. That is the spirit. That is when you go up into the highest realm of your highest being in asking the questions. That's why questions are so important. And then allowing it to drop into your heart and wait for the answers, because it doesn't just come straight away. It's a process where you trust that it's coming. And when it drops into your heart, that is when your life becomes a testimonial. That's when you become who you are choosing to be in every moment, in every situation, in every circumstances. And it's really heaven on earth. That to me is liberation. That is freedom.
It's also learning and growth.
Absolutely, because without that, we are nothing. I mean, we're not going to move the needle. It's all about learning, because once you stop learning and say, I know this, that's when you stop. It's having to be open enough to keep opening and allowing you to say, how can I love you more? Or how can I love you better? How can I listen? How can I support you? How can I encourage you? It's that learning of opening yourself vulnerably to say, I'm open to all possibilities now. Because we were only structured to what it feels good. Some things don't have to always feel good to make it a progress. So it is opening and learning and growing, because that's how we evolve. We came here to evolve. We didn't come here to be just to be and stay the same. And that's what Mona explaining. 2 years ago, she's not who she was 2 years ago, because she has evolved. I have evolved. When I went on the call yesterday, 2 years ago, I was petrified, and I was still petrified because I still had the feelings that I'm going to have to show up. But in the same time, I did it because I knew that this is what I'm doing, because I have now to show up for who I want to show up as. Regardless of what I'm feeling, I'm just showing up. And when you do that, you put yourself open to learn and to allow yourself to be of service. And then the other person gets to receive that, just like we're doing right now. So what you do, how you do one thing is how you do everything.
Jesse, you read my mind. We're definitely in the field together. I'd like to say good morning to Allison and Sindrell. And I would love to invite you both into this group of deliciousness this morning. And whoever chooses to speak first and give us your word of the day and maybe your take on the conversation or whatever you have to offer, you're invited. Thank you.
Good morning. Thank you, Mona. Delicious is delicious when you can be in a form that has no form. And that's
Ooh.
Oh, love you. It is so refreshing to come into this conversation. Always, I'm just always so thankful to come into these conversations. In contrast, I attempted to have a very intentional space of conversation with someone yesterday. And I declare I got a headache because it was so limiting for me to express myself within the space that they were able to communicate. And I had to keep taking a deep breath on patience and still allow myself to experience what I was internally experiencing in having this conversation. And I felt like beyond the conversation, I was this massive expansion of consciousness that was attempting to just communicate in this area to relate to another person. And it just made me realize that, like, I'm not who I was 2 years ago. I was like, whew, too much containment for me to persevere in the conversation, but yet I continued to do so, because then I started feeling the expansion of my own beingness and understanding like how we integrate into this world and how we make meaning in limitations and create limiting structural belief systems just to try to like fit our magnificentness into the realm of this earthly existence. And that's how the conversation went. So once you're aware of growing in super consciousness, is just like, it's like existing again in the world, but not of the world. And understanding there's so much more to explore. So thank you for your shares, Nikki and Mona, as I heard them coming in. And back to you.
Thank you, Cinderella. It is. It's when we can see all that there is, we can hear for limitations and restrictions. We can hear for where we can't, why not, all the old stuff. It's a demonstration of what we've overcome. It's a demonstration of what we've experienced, a demonstration to which level have we cleared our own stuff with.
Mm.
And so in that is like listening for passion, purpose, peace is where all the prosperity comes from.
And you notice when we clear our own stuff, other people around us clear their stuff too, just because they do.
And
Yes.
we never know how big it'll be for someone.
No.
So
And we always want it to be the biggest. Sorry.
But sometimes you need the small incremental changes. Because I think if somebody took a big change, they would go, oh, I'm going to die. I'm going back like right now.
Yeah, that is true. Because I agree with Mona, and thank you, Sarah. That was beautifully said. And I say amen to that. We live of this world, but not of this worldly ways. Amen and amen. But that is really, really true what Mona is actually saying. Because if I look back in my own life and I think to myself 2 years ago, I wasn't ready. It's all preparation. Like I said to myself, why did it take so long? And why does it take so long? Why do I have to go through so many things to get to like just there, just to taste a little bit of it? And then it's just preparation, because I will bring Joseph, a biblically word, because it's a beautiful story about Joseph. Joseph was betrayed by his brothers, thrown in a pit and sold. And for 16 years, would he have known that he would have been second in command of the Roman Empire? Yeah. And it showed you every adversary, everything that he had to go through, his path. He became a leader. He became a leader in the jail. When he was thrown in the jail, falsely accused, he became a leader in the jail. So it didn't matter what adversary came. He became the leader, the wolf of the pack. He just showed the way. And so when he could get to that place, even with the betrayal of his brothers, he recognized his brothers. They came because there was a drought. And through that, he had compassion and gentleness to say, what you meant for harm, God meant for good. What you meant for harm, God meant for good. And he told to fill up their bags and take it back to his father, to his own father, that he actually thought was dead. So whatever was meant for harm, God's going to turn it into good. But it's the preparation, because I now know if I had what I had to have, I wouldn't been able to handle it. And this is why I also find what's gentle about the recode, because it is quite transformational. It is a huge shift, because I can remember my first recode. And what is part of that recode is, say, if you could just 5%, 10%, or 15%, or 20%, or 25% move the boulders just a little. Because if we moved the boulder completely, we wouldn't be able to contain. We wouldn't be able. So it's all about knowing little by little, when those layers come off, then it comes into a full completion. And then you can say, it's not like you'll be ready. I'm not saying, but there is a time and a space for everything. And so when we go into a time in our life when we feel like, where are we going? Yeah, we're just where we need to be. That's where the trust and holding the tension, as Mona said, holding that tension and just staying in that end result. Because that's your vision, that's your goal. No matter what was going around you, that's what you're choosing.
Mona, you make me think of the boulder that is in the river, and how gentle the recode is. You get as much as you accept to handle.
Yeah.
And part of it is to safely and gently be transformed. So when you imagine the boulder in the river of desire, as it loosens up, it's like the ground underneath of it, fills in, and it takes time. The water will move the gravel. The water may even put some little pebbles in there, because the boulder is a big chunk. And you know, you get to take time to break the chunks up. So as the boulder is moving, you get gravel, you get sand, you get dirt, you even get nurturing of some, you know, little seaweed or little critters that are around the boulder, just kind of like easing it to its new purpose and its new release. And as much as the boulder moves, it is just as important how the foundation just gently fills in up under the rolled area of the boulder. And when it moves forward, it doesn't settle back in necessarily. It gets to go with the flow of the water over time as it moves. And in other times, as you go down that river of desire, that boulder may be released just to fill up another hole ahead that you're not prepared or have the vision to see to fall deep into. So it may just flow, or it may move a while and then sink into another empty space where meaning and understanding and connection and love needs time to nurture in that space. So that river of desire and that patience and it's self-patience, it's self-gentleness, is being able to ask questions as you go along the river of desire. And it's in the questions, it's the awareness of saying, oh, I'm not where I was 2 years ago. I'm at a new horizon. What questions do I have? What fears have come up? You know, when I got all of this faith, why am I still experiencing fear? I got all this wisdom. Why is fear still a part of the ingredient? Why am I not just ascending and soaring? So what lessons, what yet must I learn? And for me, the overarching thing is learning how to be super conscious from kindergarten, first grade, second grade. And we just keep ascending upward as we keep going forward.
Love that experience, that metaphor. Thank you. And I was like thinking that like tension, it's like life, nature, conscious, like our life that like flows. And it's like flow is part of tension, which then also is resistance. And so in tension, you either have resistance to the tension or you're flowing with the tension. And that's the best that I can say, the best that I've been able to see is like to notice what I'm resisting is just information, and what I'm flowing is when I'm in it, when I'm being it, when I'm calm, peace in my passion and purpose, and neutral is my best way to say that. But also acknowledge and celebrate when I get kicked out of it. When the system has to do an upgrade. I bump into resistance, you know, it's like, there it is. I wonder what that was about.
There's always a gift in the upgrade.
Or it can be miserable.
Sometimes the gift is miserable.
That's right.
Yeah, because I
Whether
know
we see it a gift. Yeah.
You got to figure things out, like what did they do with the upgrade? What changed? Oh, this control isn't here anymore. Does it still do what it used to do? Does it still operate the way it used to operate? Oh, it's confusing. It's fluttering. I got to figure things out like all over again in the upgrade. It keeps you growing. It's like going up a mountain. If there were no ridges in the mountain, then what would you have to grab onto to climb?
So good. Well, thank you all. I am complete.
Yeah, I'm complete. Thank you. Awesome.
All right, everyone. Well, thank you for this morning, for what a delicious day, for starting my day. I hope you all have a great day in your passion, purpose, peace, and power, and prosperity.
Yes. Amen. Lovely. Thank you, everybody.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Does anyone else want to stay on?
I'll hang out for a little while if you're here.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I got another few laps to walk, so sure.
Good, good. Yeah, do that. Oh, let me do this.
Thanks, Jesse.
You bet. Let me set this up again. Dang it.
Nice
All right.
being with you, Mona. Nikki. Oh, Nikki's gone already.
I've enjoyed